Have you ever had one of those dreams that just sticks with you, like a whisper of a different life, a path you haven't taken yet? Well, today we're diving into a story that has guided millions of people who felt that exact same pull. It's a beautiful, simple fable about listening to that call and discovering that the treasure you're looking for might be a lot closer than you think. So let's start our journey with Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist.
Okay, this one sentence, this is the engine that drives the entire story. And it's a pretty radical idea if you think about it. The universe isn't just sitting there watching, it's actually an active partner in your dreams. And it's this belief that gives our hero, a young shepherd boy named Santiago, the courage to see a recurring dream not as just a silly fantasy, but as a map to his destiny. So our story kicks off in the peaceful fields of Andalusia, Spain. We meet Santiago, a young shepherd. And, his life is pretty good. He's got freedom, he's got his flock, he understands his world, but that comfort gets shaken up by a dream he keeps having over and over again. A vision of a treasure just waiting for him at the Egyptian pyramids. It starts as a whisper, but pretty soon, it's a call he just can't ignore.
And this is where the story goes from being a simple adventure to something way deeper. Santiago meets this mysterious old man, a king actually, who gives his dream a name. He calls it a personal legend. Just think of it as your unique calling, the life you were born to live. But the king gives him a warning. As we get older, the world tries to convince us that this calling is just a childish fantasy. And really, the first big obstacle is always our own doubt. Before he leaves, the king tells him this incredible little story. A boy is sent to explore a palace, but he has to carry a spoon with 2 drops of oil in it. The first time, he's so worried about not spilling the oil that he completely misses all the incredible beauty of the palace. The second time, he's so busy looking at all the wonders that, oops, he spills the oil. The lesson here is a real paradox. The secret to happiness is to see all the marvels of the world, but never, ever forget the oil in your spoon. Go after your dream, for sure, but don't forget to actually live your life along the way.
So Santiago's inspired. He makes a choice that changes everything. He sells his entire flock. This was his whole life, his security, his identity, all for a ticket to Tangier in Africa. He's officially taken the first step. But the universe's immediate response? Well, it's not exactly what he was hoping for.
The second he arrives, his dream slams right into a brick wall of reality. A thief tricks him and steals every single coin he has. Suddenly, he's broke, he's all alone in a foreign country, and he can't even speak the language. This right here is his first huge test. Is he going to be a victim, give up and go home, or is he an adventurer who's just hit a really rough patch? That choice is going to define his entire journey. He ends up getting a job with a crystal merchant. And this is where he comes face to face with 2 totally different ways of looking at life. The merchant is a good guy, and he has a dream too, to make a pilgrimage to Mecca. But he's terrified that if he actually does it, he'll have nothing left to live for. Santiago, though, he comes to the exact opposite conclusion. It's the possibility of the dream coming true that makes life exciting. So for a whole year, he works and he learns and he saves, but that fire for his own personal legend never goes out. With his pockets full again, Santiago could have just gone back to his old life. But he doesn't. He doubles down. He joins a caravan that's going to cross the massive Sahara Desert. And it's out there, in that vast, quiet, empty space, that his journey really starts to turn inward. He begins to learn how to listen, not with his ears, but with his soul. He starts to understand that the universe speaks a language that doesn't use words. It speaks through omens. A butterfly that crosses your path, the way 2 hawks are flying, or just a sudden gut feeling. It's all about learning to trust your intuition, to see the connections in everything around you, and to realize that maybe nothing is just a coincidence. The caravan's journey gets stuck at a desert oasis because of some tribal wars. And it's here, by a well, that Santiago faces a brand new, powerful challenge: love. He meets a woman named Fatima, and in a single moment, he feels like she's more important than any treasure. He's actually ready to give up his whole quest just to stay with her. But Fatima, being a true woman of the desert, she gets it. She understands destiny, and she tells him he has to keep going, promising she'll be waiting for him. And this piece of wisdom comes from the alchemist himself, this powerful, mysterious figure that Santiago finally meets at the oasis. The alchemist teaches him that real love doesn't hold you back. It pushes you forward. It's not supposed to be a cage. It's the foundation that gives you the strength you need to go after your destiny. So now that he understands that love isn't a barrier, Santiago is ready for the final stretch of his journey. The alchemist himself actually agrees to guide him to the pyramids. But this last part of the trip is, of course, the most dangerous. And it's going to test more than just his courage. It's going to test his entire understanding of how the universe works. The alchemist's most important lesson is incredibly simple. Listen to your heart. He explains that your heart isn't just a muscle pumping blood. It's your direct line to what he calls the soul of the world, this universal energy that connects literally everything. And if Santiago can understand the fears and the dreams of his own heart, he can start to understand the language of all of creation. So the story hits its absolute climax when they get captured by a warring tribe. And to save their lives, the alchemist makes this impossible-sounding claim. He says that Santiago is a powerful sorcerer who can turn himself into the wind in 3 days. Santiago is, as you can imagine, terrified. He has no clue how to do something like that, and now his life depends on it. On the third day, with everything on the line, Santiago puts everything he's learned to the test. He has a silent conversation with creation itself. He speaks to the desert, and the desert asks the wind for help. The wind talks to the sun, and the sun tells him to speak to the hand that wrote all. And in that moment, Santiago has this huge realization. His soul is part of the universal soul. He isn't separate from creation. He is creation. And with that understanding, the wind does what he asks. Santiago finally makes it to the pyramids. He's exhausted, but he feels victorious. He starts digging where his heart tells him to, but then he's brutally attacked by thieves who take everything he has left. As they're leaving him there, one of them turns back to make fun of him, and he says he had a similar dream once about a treasure buried in a ruined church back in Spain, under a sycamore tree, the exact spot where Santiago's journey began. And that is the beautiful final twist. The actual physical treasure was at home the whole time. But Santiago had to travel all the way across the world, meet a king, cross a desert, and fall in love just to gain the wisdom he needed to understand what that thief was saying and finally realize where his treasure was. The journey itself, that was the real treasure. And so, the alchemist leaves us with that question, turning the mirror right back on us. It suggests that our personal legend isn't really about the final destination, but about the person we become while we're chasing it. It asks us to look at our own lives and wonder, are we listening to the omens? Are we brave enough to follow our own dreams? So, where is your treasure? And what journey do you need to take to find it?